So I guess kind of tying it back, is there some things a woman can do? Yes. I won't go through all the things, and I guess if any young man is looking at this, I want to give him a bit of advice. So I guess I would say, if you're a Christian man, for me, the one thing she can do is, can I catch her praising God? That's what would be a major green light for me. How she treats, for me as a man, people say this about how you treat your mother, but it's how you treat your father, how you treat the men in your life, your brothers, your uncles. How do you interact with them? Because we talk about respect and all these things, but again, if your face is always on, if you're always like carry lights on, how do I know that? Right. So to me, how do you treat the men and the elder men in your house, and then how you treat your mother, how you treat the ones you love? Because more than likely, that's how they're going to treat you. Mm-hmm. And another thing I would look at is their interactions. And the other part for me would be finances. Or you bought me a Doberman, but you work at McDonald's.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, so that dog costs like $3,000. Right. And that's a cheap one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you blew it on me. So we just met. How many guys have you done this to?
Right.
So what's your finances like? And then the other part is, so these are all things she can do. Totally, these are things that she would do that I would say, it's not just one thing. But this would help you, because you mentioned the point about saying marriage is hard in general. Well, these are things that I feel like, okay, I can live with those. And then the other thing I would say, well, I'm not going to give advice on marriage, but those are the things I would say if I'm looking at what a woman can do, those are it. But that being said, she has to have more of those things, because she can have red flags too. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a deal breaker, but I need to know, for instance, to say she's bad with kids, and I want kids. That's not necessarily a deal breaker for me.
Right.
The reason why is because, but she's bad with kids, meaning like she just doesn't know how to handle them. Is she cussing them out? That's a completely different thing. Right. She's just like, I remember my kids and I'm always freaked out and yelling. Okay, well, that's a red flag.
Right.
But is she coming in kicking kids in the face, slapping little girls in the eyebrows, pulling little boys' noses? Like, are you doing that? That's different from, I'm nervous around you, I have little patience, because we can work on that.
Right.
But you treat people good. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's, to me, I think the difference. So, yes, there's something she can do, I would say, for certain. And those are some of the things I think, for me, if you're a Christian man, those are things I would definitely be looking at as green lights. Has my mind shifted? The answer is no. I still think, I think all you guys made good points. I think you made some really good points about the things you were saying. But I still think the trump card to me will be God. Mm-hmm. For me. So, I would say my mind did not shift. I feel like we never shift each other's minds. But my mind didn't shift on this one.
My mind did shift. It went back and forth and back. So yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing specific that a woman can do to make me marry him. It's if their lifestyle lines up with, like I said, my values and my beliefs of what a wife, of what a woman should be, and how she should interact with her husband, her children, God. Then, that's what I'm looking for. There's nothing specific that woman can do to make me, want to marry them. One thing that I'll kind of add, we'll never know until you're in a marriage and in a monogamous relationship, a committed relationship, or marriage. You're never gonna know everything that woman is coming into the marriage with. One thing that you could suggest for, say, new couples is getting therapy together.
Oh, yeah.
It's counseling together, because you don't know what you're gonna bring, traumatically speaking. You don't know what you're gonna bring into the marriage. You don't know what she's gonna bring into the marriage. Because there's trauma. There's things that can come up. I'm married to a therapist. There's things that can come up in your life that you don't even know about, and it comes up later on in life.
Yeah.
So I've seen that in my own life personally. I've seen it around me in my own family. So I definitely understand Even if you're taking and you're looking at all of these things and you have the checklist and you're like, oh, she was talking to the waiter crazy at the restaurant, like, I want to really take that into consideration. Hey, you're not going to be able to calculate all of those little nuances. Understand, marriage is still going to take a lot of work. It's still going to take a lot of grace and forgiveness and things like that. And the same person that you married 20 years ago, hopefully, is not the same person that you married, is not the same person that you're married to in 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, hopefully that person is changing and for the better. But it's going to take a lot of work to do that. So,
true. For me, my opinion didn't change either. I still think there's definitely things that a woman can do that's going to make me be like, oh yeah, I'm going to go ahead and have to lock that down. Because it's kind of a combination of kind of what you're saying with the lifestyle, and then kind of going back to the things that you can look at and see, like, okay, she praise God when I'm not around, this and the other. Things like that. It's kind of a combination of the two, because it shouldn't be, I shouldn't come into your life and then you're like, well, I gotta, like you said, I gotta be on my best foot forward. I gotta make sure that I'm always presentable, and I gotta talk like this, and I can't show them this side and that side and all this other stuff like that. It should be more of a natural, like, this is just how I am, and how you are is naturally like, okay, yeah, I want to be respectful, I want to love you, I want to support you. All my family I take care of, or I'm respectful with my family members and the men in my family, or whatever the case is, and I feel okay bringing you into my family and you meeting them, that they can see you, because I feel like that's another component that's big, is when you start kind of introducing another person into the family, or your family, or their family, whatever the case might be, because you have to kind of see, because in my head, I always look at it when I'm dealing with girls I'm dating, I'm like, how would you fit in with my family?
Right.
And I'm like, would you be comfortable in my family, or would you be somebody that's like, you stick out like a sore thumb, like where everybody in my family is this way, but you can be like, you're not quite raised like everybody else here, or you're not quite on the same ideology or religion or whatever the case is as everybody else is around here. And so that's where I kind of get into, there are certain things that I'm like, their lifestyle, the things that you do, how you treat me, how you treat my family, how you treat your family, all those things come into play for me, action-wise, because I'm like, all those things come in are big, because especially, unfortunately, don't kill me in the comments, a lot of the women nowadays in the modern times, they don't want to do those type of things for the man that they quote unquote want to get.
Oh yeah.
So they assume that I deserve a guy that's making 6 figures, and he's 7 feet tall, and I'm 5 feet, and he's doing this and the other, and he's
a 1%er,
right? All these 1%ers and whatever the case is. But then it's like, they're like, well, I'm not going to
do anything.
Right, dude. I'm not going to do anything that's going to try to get to that 1%. I'm not going to.
I'm a 99%er.
Right. So you got the 99% trying to get the 1%, and it's like, I don't understand what you think that makes you think that you deserve this kind of guy, because you're not doing the things, kind of like you're saying, you're not preparing for that husband in your life.
Right.
So if you're not preparing for it, guys like, I'm not going to bless you with no 1% dude.
Right.
What do you think you're doing?
You might not get any guy.
Right.
You might get a 99 dude too.
Right. You're going to get somebody who's going to match your 99%. So to me, yes, there's things that a woman can do to make me propose to him. My mind didn't shift on this one, so it looks like everybody stayed the same, but this was a good topic. I feel like everybody, we spoke to a lot of good points in doing so. I hope everybody in the comments and everybody in the YouTube space, you guys got something from this. It was a great conversation, and we'll see you next time on the next Mind Shift. See if we can get you again.
Subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe, y'all.
There's some comments in here.
Let us know what y'all think.
Peace.
Peace.